So somehow end up very quickly on stage with Justin Bieber and this one. Like, what happened? How did it roll?
So I was about to turn 30, and I was still just like in my spare time, just making like travel videos or just videos with my friends or just anything, just because I enjoyed it as a hobby. And a DJ's manager by the name of Blau, like his manager Ross Festenstein at the time, found my YouTube videos and was just like, hey, we could pay you to go on tour with this artist and make these same videos that you're making for yourself, but we could pay you. So they gave me like a day rate to go out for a week. And I was just like, yo, I've never seen this kind of money. And like, actually, I'd do it for free. I'd never had somebody pay me to do something that I enjoyed. And I was hooked. Like,
was going to travel like the whole night. You're like, what? You're going to pay me?
Yeah. And so like the first night, like he and I were stage diving it like together. I'm filming it, like getting passed around the crowd. And like, he brings me back on stage. He's like, yo, I'm going to take you everywhere. And I'm just like, I'm quitting my job. And so
found your niche in life.
Yeah.
Right?
So I quit my job and started touring with him, started touring with Martin Garrix and Avicii. He had found my YouTube videos and ended up making a music video for his song, The Nights. And that like really just blew me up, not only as a filmmaker, but as a personality, as someone, because it was made up of all my home videos.
Right.
And it was like a story about advice a father gave. And I'd used real storyline of my dad, and I had a ton of clips of my dad and I. Video crushed. And then I started, I met Bieber's team, and his team was just like, yo, we like you. Now you just got to meet Justin. And like, that was like trying to catch the white rabbit, or like getting a meeting with him. It would just be like, hey, can you meet Wednesday? Actually, can you meet Friday? And then it was just like, I don't think this is ever going to happen. And then I ended up being at Miami for this festival called Ultra. And he came out to premiere, like live premiere this song, Where Are You Now with Skrillex. And he comes out and I was on stage and I get this angle and that nobody else had. And I like go home, cut this video together, and I send it to his team. And they're just like, holy shit, can we post this?
Yeah.
They post it. And then he's like, yo, I want this guy to do my videos. Who is this? And they're like, that's the guy we've been trying to have you meet. So they bring me to this show down here in LA called Wango Tango. He hasn't performed like his own set in like 3 years or something. And I'm asking his team like, yo, what are your restrictions? And this woman named Allison, who's like Scooter Braun's like number one, is like, oh, like just do your thing. We love your work. Just like do your thing. And I'm like, I'm not even going to clarify what that means, because in my head, do your thing is probably different from what you're going to say. And at the time, like I was doing fine. Like I was financially stable. I was saving some money. I enjoyed the people I was working with. So I was like, if I get this Bieber job or I don't, it wasn't going to make or break my spirit or whatnot. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I think I should do. So I find myself I was just like, I'm just going to go on stage the first 2 songs, and I'm weaving in out of his dancers. And then there's this part where the dancers just separate, and you can see me like hesitate for like half second before I just commit to, they part the dancers and he starts going out on the catwalk. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I'm just like, oh fuck, you're going out on the catwalk with Justin Bieber. Like this is obviously everybody's going to see.
We got to put a video up of this.
It's somewhere out there. I know it was on TMZ. And so I shoot this and I'm like, blood's just everything, adrenaline's going. And then like, I come back to side stage to like recollect myself, and his security's like, yo, like you're not supposed to be out there like that. Like they don't want you filming like that. And I'm like, oh God, did I just blow this? Like now I'm like in the crowd shooting and like kind of like
feeding it fucking that.
Oh, now I'm like all like self-conscious. Like, did I screw this up?
Right.
So his set ends and I'm like picking up my gear and I'm walking back. I'm like,
about to find your figure.
I'm like, how do I like, I'm about to walk into like, the lion's den. Like, what do I say? I get in there and I'm kind of just chilling. And his hair guy, Flo, somebody said something and Flo goes, I'm sure Rory got it on video, meaning like he was right there on, and I'm like, sorry about that. And Allison, she jumped in and was like, that's my fault. Like I told him to do his thing. And I was like, sorry. And they're like, no, it's cool. And Justin was like, no, man, it's all right.
Is he a good guy?
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
Really awesome guy. And so I make this video, send it to his team. And then Scooter's like, maybe we have him go on stage at all the shows, like for one song or something. Cause they had never seen that perspective.
Right.
And so it was one of those things where I just trusted my gut and I was just like, screw it. And it ended up being one of the deciding factors.
Right? Yeah.
And like Bieber later told me, he's like, yeah, I remember when we got that video. I was like, he's our guy. He's like, nobody else would have did that.
Right.
And I was like, respect.
And it's honest. It's so much of it's just like this philosophy of just being authentic, just going for it, not living in fear. It's kind of like it's the same thing when you do whether it's jumping off a cliff or going out. Most people would just say, not physically dangerous, but dangerous for my career or what people might think of me. Or you're just like, fuck it. You know? And it's not, by the way, that you don't feel the fear. See, this is what courage is about. People won't get it. Like, in other words, like, yeah, that's courage. See, courage is that you felt the fear. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure you feel the fear when you're about to jump off every single thing that you jump off of. You just don't let it stop you from taking action. That's the difference. You get it?
Yep. There's been a lot of times, like, because a lot of people hire me for my style on stage and they want me to be there. Then there's always this, hey, they're shooting a live stream. They don't want you to be seen. And then like the people I'm shooting are like, dude, you're like part of the band. You need to be out there. And it's like, it's not only do you have that's what I was talking about earlier about the external pressure. So before it was just kind of like, you just have to make it up in your mind to be like, you're doing this.
Yep.
Now you have all these other people like, well, this is kind of
it's like Game of Thrones shit going on.
Yeah.
So jockeying for position, backstabbing, who's like the favorite person at the right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
but dude, the thing with you is you have a certain factor. It's called a fucking cool factor. And everybody wants a cool factor around them. And you've mastered the art of being cool. It's the truth. You're cool. And when you're cool like you are, it's true. When you're cool, you're fucking Spagoli. No one's cool in Spagoli, right? Come on.
Right. Nobody.
No one is cool in fucking Spagoli, all right? And the point is, you could get away with that if someone else who wasn't you, okay, see, one of the things also is knowing your own boundaries in life. So it's not like anyone could run on stage with Justin Bieber, but the point is everything in your life up to that point had given you the fucking cred to go do that because it was authentic to who you are. You weren't an asshole. You weren't trying to steal his thunder. You would do your job at a really high level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was and I get that a lot, the misconception of a lot of people are like, "Oh, dude, I want to film with Chainsmokers like you," or like, "I want to be up on stage." I'm like, "It's not about being up on stage. It's not about like, yeah, people see me up there and like now like I'm known by that, but it's because I'm creating something for that artist.
Yeah,
like I just happen to, be in the spotlight kind of."
It's the same story again and again. People say, how do I be the next Rory Kramer? No, you can't be. You have to be the next best amazing you, right?
Yeah.
And you hear it I get it. I'm sure you get it all the time as well. And you can't duplicate. Listen, you could use someone as a model.
100%.
But at the end of the day, you have to be authentic to yourself. It's got to be some version of yourself and typically the most of version of yourself,
It's funny you say that because that's like the advice I try to give people because they're like, oh, how could I get myself to like where you're at? And I was like, you honestly be aware of what people are doing, be aware of the trends, but don't copy them because everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's Jordan's style. That's Rory's style. Totally. But like, be aware of it. Let it inspire you, but let it inspire you to find your own voice, your own trail.
When I was learning to write, I wrote the book, The Wolf of Wall Street. I used Tom Wolfe as a famous writer.
So you wrote your own book?
I did. I wrote all my own books. And I had time to learn. I was in jail. And what happened was I couldn't write in the beginning. I was a natural speaker.
Yep.
Not a natural writer. I could not write well. And I struggled with it. And finally I stumbled upon this book, Bonfire of the Vanities. And once I read that book, I'm like, wow, I want to write just like that. And I literally modeled it really closely. But what happened was after 3 or 4 months, my own voice evolved from that. And I became my own style based on that, and I always quote this. I'm the first to give him thanks for, he was my mentor and never met me. The guy was in jail and I used him as a mentor. Hunter S. Thompson as well. I modeled his writing as well. Yeah. And so people, you don't have to meet the people that mentor you. You can choose any mentor that you want because everything's online and available, right? So there's nothing stopping from anyone could choose you as their mentor. You don't have to be in their ear. They're smart. They can extract your strategies by watching and listening to you, right? So I think it's awesome.